Stop being the nice person who always finishes last. You've been told your whole life that being agreeable is a virtue. But in the real world, constant niceness is often a silent weakness. It destroys your boundaries. It invites others to disrespect you. And today we are going to deconstruct the psychology behind why this is costing you your power. Listen closely, because if you get this right, your entire dynamic with others will shift. Most people ignore this first point, but it's the root cause of every boundary issue you've ever had. There is something deeply reassuring about being seen as a nice person. From early childhood, niceness is rewarded. You are praised for sharing, for agreeing, for avoiding conflict. Over time, this reinforcement builds a quiet belief that being agreeable is not just good, but safe. It becomes a strategy. And in many situations, it works. But what feels smooth is not always strong. Ask yourself this: are you being kind, or are you just afraid of what happens when you create tension? Niceness removes tension. And tension, though uncomfortable, is often what reveals truth. It defines where one person ends and another begins. Without it, boundaries become unclear. And when boundaries are unclear, they are often ignored. This is where the hidden cost of constant niceness begins to emerge. Because while you are maintaining comfort, others are adapting to your behavior. They notice that your responses are predictable, and predictability changes perception. This is the turning point. Pay attention, because this is exactly why people stop respecting you. You are no longer seen as someone who chooses kindness. You are seen as someone who defaults to it, someone who is unlikely to create difficulty, someone who will accommodate, even when it is inconvenient. This shift is subtle. It does not happen in a single moment. It builds gradually through patterns, and once established, it begins to shape how people treat you. Not out of cruelty, but out of adaptation. If you don't grasp this concept of consequence, you will never be able to hold your ground. Human behavior is not random. It is responsive. People adjust their actions based on what is allowed, what is rewarded, and what is resisted. This is where consequence plays a defining role. Consequence does not have to be extreme. It does not require confrontation. It simply needs to exist. It is the signal that actions carry weight. Think about the last time you let someone walk over you. Did you enforce a consequence? Probably not. Here is why that matters. When consequence is absent, something important disappears. Hesitation. People no longer pause before acting. They no longer consider whether their behavior might cross a line. Over time, this creates a pattern. Requests become demands, respect becomes optional, consideration becomes inconsistent. And in that environment, the person who is consistently nice becomes increasingly vulnerable, not because they lack value, but because their value is not protected. Stop falling for this common trap. Many people think being passive is the same as being kind. It's not. Kindness, in its true form, is not weakness. It is a choice. When kindness exists without boundaries, it loses its definition. It becomes expected, and what is expected is no longer valued in the same way. This is one of the most overlooked dynamics in human interaction. People tend to value what has limits. What is always available becomes invisible. What is selectively given becomes meaningful. We are about to discuss the mirror effect. If you want to change how people treat you, you have to look at this principle. There is a difference between being kind and being compliant, between being respectful and being passive. The challenge is not in being kind, it is in knowing when kindness must be paired with firmness. At the core of this issue is a simple principle. Behavior adapts to conditions. If an environment allows for certain actions without resistance, those actions increase. If you ignore this next part, you will continue to let your respect fade away. Don't let that happen. Eventually, what was once a small overstep becomes normal, and what was once appreciated becomes assumed. This is how respect erodes, not suddenly but gradually. It is not taken, it is allowed to fade. Understanding this does not require cynicism, it requires awareness, because once you understand the mechanism, you can begin to influence it. This is the secret sauce. This is how you reclaim your power without being an asshole. The solution is not to become harsh, it is to become defined. Controlled kindness is not about reducing empathy.